Welcome back in, everybody. Golf Talk Radio with Mike and Billy. Don't forget, Golf Talk Radio with Mike and Billy brought to you by Slick Sticks, your key to better golf. Check out Dave Shamandel at 805-598-9993. And we're going to go straight to the phones.
We'd like to bring in Hugh Smith from the First Tee. He is a DRA from the First Tee, but we'll let him explain what he does. But he's a good friend, been with the First Tee forever. Hugh, can you hear me, and are you with us?
I can, yes. Good morning. Thank you for having me on the show.
It's a pleasure to have you on, Hugh. And I've known you for many years. You're one of the good guys, and you're an expert on the First Tee. So if you could do us a favor, what is the First Tee? For years, people ask me that same question. It's becoming more of a household name, and people are more aware of it. But what is the First Tee?
Sure. So the First Tee is a youth development agency. It's an international organization that uses the game of golf to promote core values and healthy habits through the game of golf. And so through supporting chapters like the First Tee of Central Coast and about 149 others, there's about 150 total in the First Tee network now, we're having an amazing impact on the game of golf and in using the game to bring new people to have an amazing experience through our trained coaches and having a lifelong impact.
When you mention having a huge impact on the game of golf, are you talking about the growth of the game? Or are you talking about young people specifically? What do you mean?
Yes, all across the board. So, through the First Tee, we have 3 delivery channels. The first is probably the most obvious to many of your listeners. That's at golf courses or green grass facilities in communities around the country and internationally. And then we have 2 additional delivery channels that your listeners may not be aware of. The first is in the schools, and that's traditionally K through 6th grade, where we train PE teachers to do a golf and life skills-based program during the school day. So it actually takes place in the PE class. And as the PE teachers are introducing their students to other activities, could be football, soccer, they can also do golf. And we provide beginner-friendly equipment and a curriculum that helps reinforce the experience that we want to provide for those young people, and also the training. So that's the second. And then the third delivery channel is in the after-school space. So that can also take place in the schools, and any after-school programs that the schools might provide. But probably most visibly is with our allied organizations. So that could be Boys and Girls Clubs, YMCAs, Salvation Army, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, really all across the board. We are able to partner with other youth-serving agencies. So through those 3 delivery channels, we're having an amazing impact.
So you're not much going on with the First Tee. Pretty quiet company. I'm kidding. As a matter of fact, there was 5.3 million young people just in 2016 that went through just that year alone. I see a tagline often when the First Tee commercials which are awesome during the Masters and a few other events. You see these commercials, but it says more than a game. You mentioned we had a big impact on the game of golf, but what is this more than a game?
Well, I think what we're trying to convey with the more than a game is really the life skills and life lessons that young people learn through the game of golf. One thing that's unique about the First Tee is we have 9 core values that we incorporate into the activities. These core values like honesty, integrity, sportsmanship, respect, perseverance are all incorporated into all the activities that we do. And a few years ago, we partnered with the Annika Sorenstam Foundation to incorporate healthy habits into what we're doing as well. And so these young people, are learning about, eating healthy, having healthy relationships, and living in a healthy environment. And so the more than a game really kind of shows how golf is more than actually being on a golf course or, experiencing actually playing the game. It's really the relationships and the lifelong lessons that you learn.
Well, I had the pleasure, Hugh, of spending a week or so in Orlando a little earlier this year, and the First Tee had this amazing 20-year anniversary. So the First Tee is 20 years old. It's amazing how fast it went, because I've been part of the First Tee for 14 years. So, Hugh, how many years have you been involved?
I've been with the First Tee now almost 15 years.
Awesome. So the reason I brought up the 20th anniversary, can you share by the numbers? You said you have impact. Can you tell us specific numbers? In those 20 years, how many participants, you mentioned how many chapters. I think you just mentioned about 150 chapters all around not only this country, but in other countries as well. But how many kids, how many young people?
So as you shared, there's about 5.3 million young people who were impacted through the first tee. That's taken place at about 1,200 program locations, which are green grass facilities. We're reaching over 4 million young people through the National Schools Program, and that's in more than 9,000 schools around the country and internationally. And then the after-school space, that program is our Drive program, and that's the one I mentioned that we many times do in partnership with allied organizations. And that through that program, we're reaching about 220,000 young people at over 1,000 youth-serving agencies.
And that's annually, right? That's annual.
Yes, correct.
That's pretty amazing. I've been to Mike Brabenik, as you know, Mike. He's a fellow first tee coach. I was at his program a week ago, and I think he has 5.3 million in his Thursday class.
One coach.
We need to work on the coach ratio numbers there. But Hugh, I know that you were executive director of Phoenix, and now you're working big time with the national. It must make you very proud knowing the impact that the first tee truly is having. I know it does me. I get to get up every day and impact the lives of young people in a positive way. How has it changed your life, if it has?
Well, I was lucky. I learned the game of golf when I was much younger. My dad picked it up in the Army. It was one of the things that he did when he had time off, went and learned and played the game. And so kind of wanting to be like him, I just kind of tagged along, as did a lot of my buddies who were also, dependents. And so we would tee it up, and I kind of learned by hanging around him and his friends, and then all of our buddies. And really through my life, golf has created some amazing opportunities for me. I've worked for the USGA, the PGA, and then now the first tee. And really each of those positions I've had over my tenure in the game has really shown how golf is special and unique. It brings people together, that otherwise may not have that opportunity. Golf is a great equalizer too, I would say. I've been lucky to become, I guess pretty good at the game. I'm a scratch player. And, the one thing that I used to tell our participants in Phoenix, we were a very diverse chapter, as are many chapters of the first tee. We had a lot of young people that were brand new to the game, never been on a golf course before, and were very nervous about just walking up to a golf course, walking into the pro shop, teeing it up on the first tee. And those young people were like, well, I'm not as good as this other kid or whomever else might be out there. And it's like, remember to believe in yourself, and remember all the things that you've learned through the first tee, the confidence that you've learned, the perseverance that you've learned. Those things will carry you through, and those are the kind of things that will help those young people learn to stay consistent on and off the golf course. So I think being around the game as long as I has really reinforced that golf is creates some amazing opportunities and experiences.
Well, I'll tell you, Hugh, we have to get going. I could talk to you all day about the first tee, as you know how much it is in my blood, and it has impacted me too. So I think it's a win-win for the coaches and the young people. What you're doing is awesome. Thank you for sharing the first tee story with us. I look forward to seeing you in the near future. By the way, I have played a few holes with you. Yes, you are a scratch player. You got great hands, my friend.
Well, thank you. And I would encourage any of your listeners to become active in the first tee. There's a lot of ways that people can support their local chapter by either becoming a volunteer, donating equipment they may have laying around, or becoming more active just with the game and maybe becoming a mentor to a young person. So thank you guys for creating this platform to share, and I really appreciate all your support of the first tee.
Thank you, Hugh. Have a great day, and appreciate your time.
All right, thank you. Have a great one.
All right, bud. That's Hugh Smith from the First Tee. He's the DRA, which is Director of Regional Affairs, I believe is the official title, from the Pacific. He's our Pacific region. But he's also works for the home office and a very busy, but he just moved back to Monterey. He was raised in Monterey, California. Was in Phoenix for a while. He's back in Monterey.
So he's up by us.
Yeah, he's up the road.
Salinas?
No, he's in Monterey. He lives right down.
I was going to ask him, what's the driving force of the First Tee? Like, what do you guys think is the engine of the First Tee? I mean, I know there's a lot of stuff that meshes together, but like, what is it that drives it? Is it because it's so like exploratory? Like, why? How does it?
Well, the mission drives it. The mission statement is to impact the lives of young people in a positive way, which is it's a youth development, not just golf. So the core values and bringing it to the golf course is just the classroom,
right?
But the mission itself of positive youth development and skill set, even if it's learning how to set goals or if it's learning how to chip well, I mean, they're both skill sets.
Right.
So teaching the skill sets and bringing, it originally the mission was for kids that wouldn't have an opportunity ever to play golf. Inner city kids that would just never, ever have a chance. Usually that was the initial goal.
To get them to the first
just
tee.
To get them to the first tee. Then it exploded when the life skills came out, the core values came out, to realize this could help every young person, and that's why they're in 9,000 schools and 220,000 kids a year are seeing the core values and learning a little bit of the skill set. You must believe in it. You're a recognized coach. There's only about 400 of us in the country. There's 3,900 coaches, but there's only about 400 recognized coaches like Jim DeLobby and you, Mike.
Yeah, I totally believe it. I was curious from Hugh's perspective because he's at the national office. Like, what does he feel is like the number one driving force? Is it the life skills? Is it because it's like open arms to any kid? You know, what is it? I mean, I realize there's a lot of things, but it'd be interesting to hear his perspective on, you know, since he's dealing every day from the home office, talking with a lot of different people all over the nation.
I can speak for them in a way that every time I've gone to the home office in meetings, that they stick right to the mission statement, which is providing the life skills experience to young people for a positive impact. Golf just happens to be the
I'm not directly involved with First Tee, Bill, but correct me if I'm wrong. But what I've been seeing lately is golf is really secondary.
It's hopefully it's 50-50. It was most junior programs traditionally before this came out was almost all just golf skills. Mm-hmm. Then the First Tee came out and we wanted to incorporate life skills and core values. That became a major part of that. It's the scale swung the other way.
Right.
It's designed to be 50-50, actually 30-30-30 or 33-33-30 with healthy habits. So so golf is a big part. We've got tour players that are former first teers. We've got kids that are going scholarships, like crazy. Jack Averett, who's won the First Tee Open, he's got a scholarship at Santa Clara. So the golf is a big part. A lot of people have misunderstanding since we were so life skill that golf was secondary. It should be the same for little bitty kids. It's playing games, having fun.
Right.
Is number one. The grip is way down the line. How to hold a golf club. So they're playing games. They're discovering how the ball moves because you hit it, and how hard you hit it makes it go a certain distance. Yes, you in the front row.
Yes, you raising your hand.
Because
Jim
Billy Gibbs and Mike Brabin have created 6 that I can count. This is what's interesting. I'm getting kids coming into my girls and boys team at Napomo, and Rory Dahl came out of the First Tee. He loves mentoring and teaching. Dirk Lorente came out of the First Tee. He loves to mentor. There's a girl named Lilia as a freshman. She wanted to coach the kids on the team that were beginners. We've got somebody from your Paso Robles program, plays on the Paso Robles girls golf team, and she wants to. I could see it.
Right.
It's unbelievable. And the Averets want to teach.
And
there you go.
As you guys know through training, that we are really expert game designers. And so kids learn by playing games. So we can't teach. We guide them to self-discovery.
Right.
So the games themselves are designed for them to learn a skill set. So if the games are designed properly and they're fun and they're seamless, they're learning skill set, they're having fun, they're learning progression, they're understanding the core values of what we're trying to get across, all by playing a game. So we go to that.
As opposed to being told.
Yeah, supposed to being told.
Yes.
Stand like this, grip posture stance. Spine! Head down!
Spine, head.
Instead of that. And it's funny because we are all PGA professionals. The First Tee employs more PGA professionals than any other organization.
I saw that.
Matter of fact,
that's amazing.
There's over 1,000 PGA or LPGA in the First Tee. And Dick's Sporting Goods was number one for a while. That one. But a lot of PGA professionals like us have bought in.
Right.
For a while, I know how to teach golf. I don't need to know how to teach golf. I know how to hold the golf. I can teach them, do this, stand there, back straight. So as less is more.
That's how I learned.
I'm looking at Dave. He's going, what? What's wrong with that?
Yeah. So that's what I teach. But I've learned to be a better teacher for adults. I wish I learned through games and watching the kids have fun. So I learn every time too. But it's amazing how well they learn if the game is designed properly. So that's really the magic happens in the games they set up. Games by distance response games or aiming at targets and playing at different targets. Getting balanced, standing on noodles or standing on a balance beam to hit a shot. They're having fun trying to keep their balance. It's teaching them how to center themselves and hit without saying, center yourself. Come on, get your weight back. Bend those knees, butt back. Butt back.
Yeah, they're learning while playing, which is what it's a learning by doing.
And
what could be better?
All learning happens through self-discovery. Us teachers, believe it or not, we can't teach anything. We guide to learn.
So my dad was a First Tee coach. He just gave me clubs, threw them at me. Go play, Jim.
Exactly. Here's a ball.
Wow, Jim.
That's how I learned.
There's a hole. There's a ball. Here's
He did.
Here's a stick. Go for it.
He did.
And there's a lot to
He's
that.
a first tee coach
But we
before
have
it
to- but we
started.
guide them to understand concepts. So you guide them to understand how the harder you swing, if it's going to go, the ball's going to go faster, but is it going to go in play? So the squarer you hit it, if you will, you've got to hit it a certain way so it goes the direction you want. So the games, you have to understand that your action creates a reaction. So if our games create that, then they're learning from their movement created such and such, and they start to develop. But you tell them they got to hit a square in the club face, hit it, go straight. That's just telling them something. But they have to discover that. So the games build those kind of things. As you guys know, you're
Dad, you didn't take the advanced training. That would have helped me on the tour.
You should have gone to level
Funny,
3,
my
Dad.
dad gave me a set of clubs, and I was out hitting balls. He started throwing firecrackers at me.
And my dad sold me a set of clubs.
He's like, "Pay attention, focus."
Oh my
I
God.
got it. I'm good.
My dad sold me a set of clubs. That's how sad.
That's awesome. I hope he gave you a good deal.
No, I'm telling you.
Do you have them?
I had to make payments. It was brutal.
Are they paid off yet?
Not yet.
My dad threw a set of clubs at me, and it didn't have anything to do with learning how to play
Oh,
golf.
my
He just kept
gosh.
throwing clubs at me.
You learn how to move fast.
I got a little quicker.
It helps speed.
Well, that's what they
Boy.
feel like when they're hit on the ball.
Yeah.
That's what the ball feels like.
We're going to take a break.
That'll train your
We got the
reflexes
phone.
real quick.
Can we go live to live shot?
We got to take our break real quick, but and then we will. So, Golf Talk Radio brought to you by McPhee's Grill of Templeton. Check out mcpheesgrill.com, 805-434-3204. Give away $25 gift cards just about every show. And also for our fantasy golf, don't forget about our podcast sponsor, healthiq.com. Use the word Golf Talk when you visit healthiq.com, and they'll throw a great offer your way. We'll be right back. Stay with us.